How we leave a cheater, very demure, very mindful. Notice how everything was mine. Very demure, very mindful. Look at this. This is all letters from me, and this is from the cheating whore. This is for the whore that he was talking to. Okay, look at how empty. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't deserve anything. And all of his clothes and stuff is right there with my face right there. And look, he came into the relationship with just clothes, and that's all. I'm gonna take all the stuff back.
Do you know what a very dangerous rhetoric is? That a man treated you like shit because you weren't the one for him. What it does is it takes the responsibility off of the person who's being disrespectful, and it puts it on you as the woman. Like the whole, oh, if he's with the right woman and the one that makes him want to change and makes him want to be good, then he'll stop talking to her like that and treating her like that, and he'll buy her gifts and he'll pay for dinner. Because then as a woman, then if you've been treated poorly by men, which it's a very common experience for women, then you think, oh, you know, it must be my fault. Like, I'm not good enough for that person to treat me well. And the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter if someone's not the right one for you or whatever in your life. Respect is something that should be given, especially to a person you've chosen to partner up with. Why are we flipping this around and blaming people like, oh yeah, you were too eager, you were too nice, you were doing too much for him? Like, what world are we living in? Maybe he's just a dick. And unfortunately, you were his victim. End of story. You didn't do anything wrong to deserve that kind of treatment.
I just saw this girl's post, and she said some men will never be with the girl that they really want to be with because they have no control over their life. She said they usually have a ringleader like their mom, their dad, their friend, their family member that controls their emotions. And basically what she's saying is men literally date who their friends, family, mom, dad approve of, not who they actually like. And when I say this shit is true, it's true, and I've seen it. Y'all know them posts that be like, oh, if I bring my girl to the cookout and my aunt don't say, I see you, nephew, I'm taking her home. Like, they mean that. Like, they literally mean that. They're not joking. If they don't get that approval from the people, like, around them, they feel like, oh, no, I got to go harder. I got to do better. Instead of just dating who they want to date. It's the reason why when you start talking to a girl, you showing your homeboys pictures of her because you sitting back like, what y'all think? Y'all like her? Y'all like I was literally talking to this guy, and me and him have mutual friends, so we're already friends. I was already friends with his friends on social media, and they never viewed my stuff before. Like, I've literally never seen him in my views. Once me and him start talking, who is in my views? Looking at my story, looking at my, like, I see them, and it's like, dude, you couldn't wait to tell them that we talk. You couldn't wait to show them, or to me, it comes off as like you wanted to get their approval because they immediately on my story. And it's so wild to me because men, and not all of them, but a lot of men literally cannot think for themselves. Like, if I start talking to a guy and I show a picture of him to my sisters and they be like, he ugly, girl, I don't give a fuck. I like him. Like, I'm talking to him. This is what it is. I don't care what you're talking about. But men, if they show a picture of a girl to their friends and he's like, oh no, like, I feel like dudes be like, yeah, you right, bro. I see where you coming from. You right. Like, instead of just being like, no, like, I like her. This is what it is. Nigga, get over it. Y'all cannot tell me that I'm lying. Y'all cannot tell me that I'm lying. Men date who their family wants them to date, who their friends want them to date. Well, I'm not going to say they never date who they want, but they let, a lot of times, they let other people have say-so over the person that they want to be with. And that is so wild to me because think for yourself, bozo.
In today's current climate, women are really, really, really going to be prey to a lot of men, okay? And coming from someone who has, thankfully, knock on wood, coming from a woman who has not been a victim of any of that before, because I know how to not make myself look like a target, I'm going to teach you how to be out in public and to not look like prey to a predator. Okay, first thing is first. When you are out and you are walking, you must walk with intent. Look at how fast I'm walking. Walk like you got somewhere to be. Men all the time are like, slow down, you're walking too fast, Yeah, they pick up on that and they notice that because really they want you walking slow, and they want you walking like it's all unicorns and rainbows outside, because the slower you walk, the less creepy they look when they're trying to approach you. If you're walking fast, they're gonna look crazy trying to like run after you, because it's really gonna come off and look like, okay, they're running after you for a reason. Tunnel vision. Eye on the prize. Only look in the direction of where you are headed, okay? Don't make any eye contact. Just literally keep walking, keep looking directly in front of you. Just like you're supposed to have tunnel vision, also acknowledge your peripherals without looking, okay? But also check behind you, okay? Every 2 blocks or so, check behind you. Especially if it's the same person that you're seeing behind you. Like, let's just say you get off the train or the bus or something like that, and someone gets off at the same time as you behind you. Make sure you're checking behind you regularly to see if this person is still behind you or not. Also, check out your peripherals to see if anyone swooped up behind you to follow you in the first place. Fourth, your facial expressions, okay? Micro expressions is one of the most important indicators of someone paying attention to you, to figure out what they might potentially do to you and how they're going to handle you. This is an innate gift that we are given as babies. Babies literally will cry at a scary face, okay? They will whimper at a face that makes them feel uncomfortable. They already know how to do this. So this is how important your expression is and how it makes certain people feel when they are looking at you and paying attention to you. Just like you cannot walk slow and, look like you're just in La La Land, you cannot look too happy. You cannot look like you are in a daze. Why angry cats look angry is because all of this here is scrunched in. It's scrunched in like this. So from this to... It's a small adjustment, but it makes a world of a difference. So when you are out in public, you have to tighten this part of your face. A little bit of anger. So why you will get the comments of them telling you, oh, you need to smile. You need to smile. Yeah, the reason why they're telling you that, and they're telling you that when you're in public, is because to them it's an open invitation, okay? It's an open invitation when you have that emotion, when you have that smile. Please be aware of your surroundings, okay? Pay attention. Just really make sure that you aren't looking all that approachable, okay? Love you.
He's hiding who he is. He knows that you have that discernment. Your friend is in a state of limerence and loneliness. He's trash. Waste of time. Tell your friend. Okay, my original video talking about my friend who was hanging out with this guy in a platonic way, but she also kept asking herself why he wasn't making a move and felt like she was developing feelings as a result of hanging out with him. And then he started talking about how he was hooking up with other girls and she got upset. And then he went on a rant like, oh, I'm not really over my ex and I feel like we could just be good friends. I haven't really made a move because I don't really know what I want out of life, blah, 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 blah. And also, whenever I've seen this guy with my friend, he ignores me, in spite of the fact that half the time I'm the one putting both of them on the guest list to the event. I think what men fear the most is a woman that they can tell doesn't really respect them. Men that are manipulative will try to hide that fact or try to convince a woman otherwise. But I don't even think that this guy is smart enough to try to do that, because he thinks that if he just kind of avoids me, that there'll be less data for me to collect on him to tell my friend that he's not worth her time. But that avoidance in and of itself is data, okay? So also, this guy is an expat living in Shanghai. He's like almost 40. And my friend is a Chinese woman in her early 30s. She has more direction in her life now than he does. But because of her low self-esteem, which she has also acknowledged to me and says that she wants to work on, even though she can recognize on a conscious level that her and this man are not compatible, her subconscious pick me seed, okay? That part of your brain as a woman that's been conditioned by society to pedestal a man's validation and approval over your own, over the people that you actually respect, is being watered, okay, when she's around this man. And she doesn't have a healthy enough garden or self-concept to counter what's happening, okay? When you get to a certain point in your life as a woman, you need to be very clear with yourself what your standards for men are in your interactions with them, okay? So for me, I'm not going to be friends or friendly with a man unless there is a mutual benefit. I'm not going to let men drain me of my time and my resources just because they want to if it's not mutually beneficial. When it is not mutually beneficial anymore, that's when I start distancing myself because if the situation was reversed and I was no longer adding value to a man's life, he would not feel bad about looking elsewhere to get his needs met, okay? And I don't take it personally. Lots of men make content complaining about how women don't bring anything to the table. I don't give a fuck. Are you sure you even have a table, bruh? I'm not trying to be around anyone that doesn't value my time, my energy, and my presence, okay? If I was going to engage with a man romantically, I have very clear standards about the types of romantic relationships that I will and won't get into. So if a man that I'm friendly with doesn't meet those requirements, I do not project or I do not get attached to any subconscious projections I may unreasonably make about what is possible for me and this man in a romantic sense, because it's normal as a woman to do that as a result of familiarity with a man, but you need to remember what your standards are and what you're looking for so that you don't get attached to that projection. And this is what my friend was struggling to do. She is not clear with herself about what kind of relationship she wants. She just wants attention generally from men. And she's not firm enough in her conviction about being able to say no for things that she doesn't want or things that she knows aren't compatible or aren't adding value to her life, that she got overly attached to the idea of this man being able to offer her something, even though over the months that she spent with him, it was evident that it was going nowhere and there's no compatibility. It's not about not having the feeling of limerence towards people that it doesn't really make sense with. It's about recognizing that that's the state that you're in and behaving in a way that's in accordance with what you actually want and not some irrational fantasy projection that your brain has just created because you don't have enough going on in your own life.
If you want to have the best life ever, you should learn to decenter men. Here's how. Cut them out of your life. I just did a whole video on this. I think it's necessary, but if you're not going to listen to me, here are some more rules. Hobbies, which are different than passion projects, I'll explain in a second. Hobbies are fun things to do to pass the time. I started learning how to do ikebana, which is the Japanese art of floral arrangement. You might like to read, go for a bike ride, get a pen pal, something stupid. Passion projects, this is different because this is something that fuels your life. Girl, we both know you've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for like 10 years now. Go get a camera and learn to edit. What about that book you've been meaning to write, huh? Plus, if they help you make money. Stop listening to boy-focused TikToks. I promise you, you can just press not interested, okay? You can block me if you need to. I'll miss you though. Even if you think they're helping. Like sometimes Christian Walker yelling at you saying you're worthless, he hates you, you're disgusting, isn't actually gonna make you leave him. You'll probably just think worse about yourself. Maybe try therapy, okay? Sometimes there's something deep inside of you that you need to get out. Maybe that's the reason you're actually obsessed with boys. No dating apps. We both know you're not going on those to find someone. You're going there to be validated, okay? Escapism is okay. Maybe it's reality TV for you. Sometimes you need something that if you're thinking about a boy so much, you just like, I need to go quick band-aid to Vanderpump Rules, okay? Pass the Bechdel test once in a while, okay? If your friends and you are constantly talking about boys, guess what you're gonna constantly think about? Boys. Let's get some more variety in the conversation, okay? Never entertain someone who's putting in zero effort, aka Snapchatting. Cut all your streaks off. What are you doing? Less than time with people who are obsessed with boys. I'm so sorry about this. I had a friend group in high school, and for every single lunch period, they would just talk about boys. And they're both happy with their ugly boyfriends now, okay? That's not what I wanted for myself. Stop doing stuff you don't like if you have to do it. You're just gonna think about them. You have to do your job, probably. But you don't have to hang out with people you don't like, because you're just gonna think about boys during that period because you're bored. If going on the treadmill makes you think about them because you're so bored, you should probably get into spin class. Actually, I'm putting that on the list. Spin class will help you get your mind off boys so much.